If I use drugs, what's the outcome? My dad used drugs, he sold drugs, he died. My mom used drugs, she died.
Yeah.
My brother, even though he was a victim of gun violence, he was still in the streets.
Right.
So he died.
Yeah.
I just knew right away, like, I'm not doing those things. So it was an easy decision. I wasn't deliberating. You know, it was just like, all right, that ain't it.
Welcome back to the BILF Pod, where authenticity trumps authority. My name is Mara Dorn, and we are here at the BILF Pod with Mr. Brendan Boyd. But before we begin, do you even know what a BILF is?
Listen, I think it's a boss I like to follow.
Yes, you know. You should hear the crazy shit that comes out of people's mouths.
What'd they say?
Boss, I'd like to, you know.
Oh, really?
I mean,
yeah, that makes sense.
Whatever. Listen, I'll be a boss. Whatever. I like to follow, though.
Yeah.
But I'm so excited that we have you here today. Brendan Boyd is an entrepreneur. Yes.
Yeah.
You also are a productivity coach. You have your own podcast. You're showing people how to make money and monetize utilizing podcast strategies. I mean, you're really a jack of all trades.
The productivity thing, I don't know if I'm coaching that. I think that's more like lifestyle.
Okay, listen, I see your videos. That I have seen. I've seen your videos. They look dope. It looks like you're living life over here, so you must be doing something good.
You know.
You are the founder of Imperfect Action Media as well. So you have a whole array of just all kinds of leadership skills. You have all kinds of things going on in your life right now. But I really just want to dig deep right now and start from the beginning, because your story is so interesting. And I think the most important thing that people don't know is they see the after product. They never know the behind the scenes and the story of what took you here and how you are here and what motivated you. So do you mind if we dig deep at first?
No, we could definitely dig deep. I would love to do something different, though, if we can start. I feel like people don't know me yet. So I feel like they may not be as interested in my story unless I give them some value first.
Ooh.
So I definitely want to give some value and allow me to earn people's viewership.
I love that.
You know what I mean?
You're teaching me too, because I'm new to the game also. So we're just you just teach me. You just gave me a good nugget.
Yeah, let's do it. So like, if I could give anything just off the rip, right?
Yeah.
What I realize is, like, right now we're in a heavy content space. This is like the content economy. So we're really in abundance land right now.
Yeah. So
literally everything that we see around us is money. I don't think that previous to the time that we're in now, you would just be like, oh, that's a chair.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, you can make money with that chair.
Absolutely.
Because you could resell this chair, right? You could drop ship this chair. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody right now probably needs a chair, but they just don't know that chair exists.
Right.
So there's just an abundance, an array of an opportunity that we can monetize, whether it's, you know, your IP, things that you know, things that you're willing to learn. Right. So I'll give you an example. Like yesterday, I was just shooting 3 street interviews. And I can give I can give a crazy play how someone can make $25,000 just off of like street interviews. But anyway, me and 2 of my friends, we were shooting street interviews. And I had a client in town. So
that's where you're just on the street talking to people.
Yeah, on the street talking to people. I had a client in town, so I want to interview him, and then I put him on a couple of podcasts and stuff like that. And then what I realized is that, and you know this to be true, when you interview people, you just learn so many things.
Absolutely.
Right. So I met this gentleman that is netting $1.1 million a year in a business that is not sexy. And people probably don't even think about it, right? But he found a problem and his business solves it. And it's smog.
Oh, okay.
So there's 34 states right now of the 50 that have a smog problem.
Okay.
And then his business solves that. So basically, he partners with like gas stations and he creates, you know, the smog containers. You know, so like if you need to get your car checked for smog, you'll pull right in there. And then he's able to monetize that because of that partnership. And I'm like, bro, how much does it cost to get started?
Yeah.
He's like $10K.
I was like, no overhead. Wow.
Right? And now this is the thing. Okay, so now we're in the content economy. The other economy is the capital economy. So money has always, I feel like, been readily available, but I think the information behind how easy I would say, it is to obtain based off of, you know, how your structure is set up.
Right.
It is for you to get. And I think before we didn't really know that. Because I remember when I started my previous businesses, I used my own money. It was like you had to use cash. Like that was like the thing. But now you don't. You use leverage. So I think if people can understand, if I can find a way to thrive in this content economy and I can use leverage, right?
Leverage meaning like bartering or?
Yeah. So on all levels, but we're just talking about financial leverage.
Okay.
So let's say I'm leveraging my credit score and I'm structuring a LLC and I can get access to business capital and business funding. Now I can self-fund whatever my dreams are, whatever my projects are, or I can use this funding to purchase cash flow. And now I can do the things I really want to do.
That's such a good nugget.
And you could do that in 6 to 12 months.
People
12
don't
to
know
18
this,
months.
though. People have no idea about this.
That's what I'm saying. And you could do almost whatever you want, right? I think prioritizing your life in terms of how much it costs for you to afford you and the people that you love that are in it. Once you solve that problem, then you can actually experience life.
Right.
And I think that people need to pay more attention to that.
Yeah.
And now you can do, or you can, you're free to discover why you're on earth and what actually makes you happy.
And you can kind of gauge where you're going.
You can't really do that if you have to worry about paying bills every day.
Right.
But I think because the economy that we're in and what's actually heavily available to us, you can do that.
Yeah, I think so too. I think people don't realize it. And part of that is, number one, they don't teach that in schools.
No, you're not going to get that.
No, you're not.
School's just a babysitting.
Yeah, for sure. You don't get that. So people come out and they don't realize that there are different ways that you can financially start your own business.
100%, yeah.
Outside of going to a lender, if you have a good credit score. So it's important for somebody that's in high school. Even my daughter, I talk about it with her now, is to open up a credit card, a line of credit. So at least she has it because credit's good. Like you said, having a good credit score really allows you financial freedom.
100%. And I think we're one of the only countries that have this credit system set up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's available for us to utilize it. But I feel like they might be a little interested now. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like, listen, I think off rip, you just came at them strong. You told them some good, just an easy nugget that people don't know. If somebody's sitting at home right now and they're thinking, I want to start this business. I don't really know how I'm going to do it. Where am I getting the capital? I can't borrow from friends and family. But holy shit, I have a great credit score. I have a good idea. That's where you start.
100%.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So now you have to take it because you're very entrepreneurial.
Yeah, 100%,
I mean, just thinking of that in general, looking at a chair and knowing that you can monetize it, and there's so many ways that you can do it. But let's talk about where that started for you, because your backstory is really interesting as well.
Yeah, as far as being entrepreneurial, I feel like you and I talked about it offline a little bit, but it probably goes back to my relationship with my grandma, who was my guardian. I think seeing her be a Bills bondsman in the evening after her day job, that probably planted a seed, even though I didn't know what it was. I just knew that we're going to take a ride. And we always took rides to the jail. Yeah. And then, she
wasn't scaring you.
She was at the window. Well, we didn't actually go inside the jail. We just went to like the desk. She passed the paper. 5-10 minutes later, somebody was released. That was it. She got paid. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I would remember going to we would go to one jail consistently because it was near the house, but occasionally we might go to another one that was like a town over. Right. But I think that seed planted in me okay, she's doing something to make money
outside of her regular 100%.
And then when she passed away when I was 16 of lung cancer, she left me an insurance policy. So I'm like, well, what is this? And then I found out, okay, well, I'm the beneficiary on the policy, and it was 6 figures. Wow. You know what I mean? So I think even though I didn't have a lot of time with her, she planted these seeds that I was able to kind of discover what they were as I got older.
All the tools.
Yeah, 100%. So I think without her overtly teaching me and going over and educating me, she planted little nuggets for me to find. It's almost like Easter hunt.
She gave you on-the-job
training. It's like an Easter egg.
Yeah, and then she gave you on-the-job training. There you are.
And then she hit me with the real life. I'm out. I did my job. Yeah. I'm out. You 16, you good now. I'm out.
She gave you all the nuggets.
Yeah.
But with a nice reward. And then, so here you are, you're 16 years old, you have 6 figures. I just remember I was 17 when I went to college. So had I had 6 figures, good luck to me.
Oh, we already know what I did with that.
So how did you come back from it? But you did go to college.
Yeah. So I went to college. That was her last dying wish for me to go to school, because her and I kind of we argued about that. I wasn't trying to go to school. But she passed away, so I felt compelled. So I went, graduated. I got an English degree. Cause I was very into like writing, and I think it was perfect for me because it actually helped me process a lot of the pain I was going through.
Yeah.
Because she passed, my mom and dad passed, one of my brothers passed, a best friend passed, aunt, uncle, great grandma. There's a lot of death, right? So the writing helped me process it. I didn't hold any bitterment or resentment. You know what I mean? It was just like, I remember when my dad died, my aunt on my father's side asked me if I was gonna go to the funeral, and I remember being really upset at that time because I'm like, why am I gonna go to a funeral? Like this dude never came to see me when he was alive.
Yeah.
So I didn't go. You know what I mean? But the writing helped me kind of process that, and then I think when I was in school, like that senior year of college, that's when I had my first like entrepreneurial idea, which was to start a basketball league.
That's amazing. Yeah. But going back real quick to what you said about death, because I also faced death like really young. And when you're young, you can't process it.
There's a lot going on.
But later on, what happened, like for me, I don't know if this happened in sidebar on this one, but when people die so young, I feel like there's a greater reason. And it helped, like, it's sad, it's very sad, but it also gives you a learning lesson, and it also allows you to kind of to navigate life differently than as if it didn't happen. And I always say, like, it's sad that my dad died, but there was a lesson behind it. And it definitely it allowed me to become who I am today because of it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And it also helps you to help other people.
Yeah.
Because if you have a friend or let's say a colleague and they have a relative pass away, you can really be there and support them like they wouldn't expect because you've been through it. Absolutely. And it's been maybe a year or a few years. So you have now the tools and resources to navigate that situation and those experiences. And I feel like I wish that our culture presented that truth more readily.
Yeah.
Because I don't think death needs to be such a it doesn't have to be like such a sorrow surprise every single time. Because it's like we all going there.
Yeah.
Every day we going closer.
Oh, don't tell me this, but yes, I know.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I feel like it should be more of a celebration, almost like a going home, versus like everybody sad and stuff.
I like that glass half full rather than
but I mean it's the truth because this what happens. I remember going to a funeral, everybody sad. Next day, everybody watching the game.
That exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like life is gonna move. The public bus is ride. People gonna be on Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So now let's have the resources to move forward.
So it's like, if it's gonna happen anyway, then you might as well have the tools and resources, and then celebrate and appreciate the life of that individual.
That's a good point.
Together, one last time.
I agree. I think
instead of everybody just leaving sad.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. And well, I mean, ultimately, I'm sure you do know this, that the death around you and all the choices, because you didn't talk about how, you grew up in the inner city and you saw drugs and, you're faced with all kinds of things. That was just the time that we were in also. But,
what's the time we were in? I don't know if everybody went to crack houses though.
No, but you did. I love how you're laughing about it.
For real.
But using all that, and I asked you earlier, I said, in the inner city, and this is fact, is that you don't have as many resources outside of living outside. Because I didn't grow up in the inner city, but I went to school in the inner city.
Yeah.
So I know factually that the kids that I went to school with did not have the same resources that were accessible to me. So therefore, you're going through the same repetitive cycle. But here you are, you're faced with it, you're going to crack houses. Now you're 16 years old, your grandma dies, your mom had already died, your dad had died, brother was in jail, incarcerated. Well, how the fuck did you not end up there?
Because they showed me the movie.
A lot of people would have been like, fuck it, it's easier. It's easy come, easy go money. Because at that time, selling drugs was a big thing. But
it's different. It's like,
and it was cool.
When you see the movie and you see the outcome, then you know where you could head if you do it.
Yeah.
Right? If I use drugs, what's the outcome? My dad used drugs, he sold drugs, he died. Right? My mom used drugs, she died.
Yeah.
Right? My grandmother, aunt, and uncle, they smoked cigarettes, they died.
Yeah.
And they got lung cancer from the cigarettes. Right? my brother, even though he was a victim of gun violence, he was still in the streets.
Right.
So he died.
Yeah.
Right. So that's trauma to me. So if I watch the movie and it all end in tragedy, but these are all characters that you grow to love during the movie, I'm not doing that because I see how it ends. So to me, it was a very easy decision for me to go the other way. The other thing that I guess was traumatic to me, which is kind of funny, but it's interesting. But I remember everyone in my family not being in shape. You know? And they weren't like out of shape.
Yeah, just
but
wasn't
everybody
a big
was just kind of like,
then.
you know, this was right. This is like during the Jane Fonda workout days.
The jazzercise, yeah.
You know
but it
saying?
wasn't like a huge. I don't remember anybody around
Richard
like,
Simmons. You know, remember Richard Simmons?
Of course, I know. Rest in peace. Yes, of course.
So it was like that. But I also processed that, and I told myself I'm never gonna look like that.
Yeah.
So that with me experiencing and seeing the death, like watching this movie, I just knew right away like I'm not doing those things. So it was an easy decision. I was not compelled to. I wasn't deliberating. You know, it was just like, all right, that ain't it.
So it didn't even make sense. So then you go to college, you go working at Sprint, and now your whole entrepreneurial life goes into check because now you're starting this basketball league. Yeah,
basketball league was cool. So the reason why I started that was because in New York they have a league called Rucker Park, right? And Boston, we didn't have nothing like that. We had like the Boston Shootout for a couple years, but then they stopped it. So if you were over 18 in Boston, there wasn't any public leagues. Oh. Like we had the Boston Neighborhood Basketball League, but it stopped at like 19 and under. So after 18 plus, 19 plus, there was no public basketball leagues. It wasn't really like a thing like that. So that was something that I picked up on. So it was a problem that I solved. And then I created my first tournament, and then I turned it into leagues that I ran 3 times a year. And I got the idea to monetize it by playing Little League. Because Little League baseball, this is in every city across America. There's like, you know, Joe's Cargo Wash, you know, Sarah's Bakery. Every Little League team has some local business on the back with the phone number, the email or something. And then I used to be inquisitive, like, why is that? But I realized, they're sponsoring the team. This is marketing. This is advertising. So I took that, and every single team I had a sponsor. So I was charging teams like $1,200 to be in the league, but then I was charging sponsors either $1,200 or $500 to sponsor either a banner at the park or a team. Right. And then I gave trophies. So then, and I got this from the NBA because every All-Star game, event or award had a sponsor. So when I did my 3-point event, it had a sponsor.
Smart.
When I did my dunk contest, it had a sponsor. When I had my trophies, they all had different sponsors. So these were just the different ways that I was able to make
money. And they're all paying for it. You're running your league.
So I ran
monetizing also.
I ran it. I did a marketing, the business, and then I played in it too.
Amazing.
So it was cool. Yeah.
So how long did that go for?
I did that for about 6 years, and I definitely should have kept it going. But my brother and one of my best friends from high school, they introduced me to this individual, and then him and I became close friends, and then we launched a clothing company.
The streetwear.
Yeah. And that's what really gave me, I would say, at that time, my most entrepreneurship success, because we grew 7 figures, but we didn't know what the hell we was doing.
That's always a problem too. So it's easy come, easy go. So you can make 100%. The money, but if you don't know what to do with it or how to strategize with it, you can call your business goodbye.
And I was going super crazy with the spin because I was leveraging my assets to invest in the company.
Got you.
So you know how earlier we talked about, and because of the age that we're in and how you can set yourself up to fund your dreams or whatever you want to do. So I had a piece of property that my grandmother also left me. So I used that to invest in the business instead of leveraging the asset. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know.
Yes.
Right. So boom.
Another nugget.
I lose that. Then I have part of the money that I got from her. So a lot of it I spend it on cars and stuff, but a lot of the money I got from that, I also invested back into the business. You know what I mean? So I just didn't have the financial wherewithal and the knowledge, the business acumen at the time with the strategy that I had. But somehow it worked.
Listen, it does work. But I think the big thing that people should also hone in on is if you're not good at that, and that's not, then you hire someone that can help you.
100%. Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
if I'm not good at something,
you remove the ego.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that I had ego. You just didn't know. I just didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know. And I think if I would have known, of course I would have leveraged my credit. If I would have known, of course I would have got a business coach. If I would have known, of course I would have found someone that was running a successful clothing company, you know, that we could be our mentor and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But somehow the joint worked.
How long did it go for?
10 years.
10 years.
And somehow we were in, you know, one of the most renowned streetwear clothing boutiques in the world, which no longer exists. It's called Colette. It's in Paris. It was like renowned. We did a collaboration with them. I flew to Paris. The clothes was on the shelf. I bought my own stuff. That was a vibe. We did a collab with Mountain Dew. We did one with Pepsi. You know, we did one with this BMX company called DK Bikes. We were in the video game. You know,
crazy.
A lot of athletes wore our stuff. A lot of the top entertainers of now wore our stuff back then. So like, The Weeknd, before he was fashionable, he used to wear colors. You know what I'm saying? So he wore our brand. Chris Brown, Justin Bieber, just tons of athletes and artists. Wiz Khalifa. He actually put us in a couple of his videos back in the day. Chance the Rapper. Childish Gambino.
So now you're at the height of your game, people. And then what happened?
Then the ego and the
that ego. Ugh.
Yeah. So me and my business partner, this story is kind of crazy, and you know, him and I definitely we've healed from this, but I was a different person back then. You know what I'm saying? And I guess what I'm saying when I say that is, I wasn't as patient, and I wasn't as I still think about myself.
That's okay. We're only
100%.
children. Disclaimer.
But it was all really about me, for real. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Disclaimer, you are an only child. This is what happens, unfortunately.
You know? So I was really in that mode, for real. But the thing that I think separated us was ego and then women. Ooh. So the weird thing about this is, I always had women around,
right?
Because I really get along with women a lot, pretty well. I have a lot of female relationships, especially back then. So I would always have women around the office, right? And to me, they were like inspiring for me. You know, I could work, you know, or just hang around, chill, whatever. But and a lot of them weren't even girls I was dating. They was just like friends. Jay had come through, and what we were doing was cool. So they wanted to be, you know, around. People wanted to be around. But he used to always want to like be with my friends.
Oof.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
and to me, I ain't care, but it was just kind of like awkward
until it gets weird
sometimes. And then it was this one girl who I didn't even like this girl. We met at a bar. She worked at the bar. Cool vibe, you know what I'm saying? And everyone in the city was cool. And I was like, yeah, just come through. They ended up liking each other. And then I saw her maybe 3 weeks later, and I said hi. And somehow she went back and told him that I was trying to like take her out or something.
Oof.
And I'm like, I just met you. I linked y'all up. I literally said hi to you. And then I got him texting me talking about something that has to deal with you. You know what I'm saying?
Not a good situation.
100%. So it was just weird things. And we were younger, obviously. So it was a combination of just like the egos, and, you know, we were doing well, but our egos are actually swelling. And then that weird relationship that involved.
And the company fell flat.
Women. And then we didn't have a structure, right? So not having structure, having egos, having this weird energy.
And then distension.
I'm using all my money.
Yeah.
Then you have some resentment. You know what I'm saying?
It's
it was
done. Recipe for disaster.
100%.
Yeah.
So the year we made 7 figures, never did it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a huge lesson for people too, is when there's distension between people in the leadership or
the key players.
It doesn't work. It will flatline. And I've seen it a million times. I say that I've run teams. So when you have dissension within the leadership team and you know, someone's doing this way, this one's pissed, it never works. I've seen teams implode. I've seen them go completely done.
Yeah, 100%. And that's definitely what happened. That's definitely what happened. So
And it's the ego. You got to put your ego aside and
Yeah.
iron it out. You know, I always say, go to the table, iron it out, say whatever it is. I'll respect you more if you say fuck you to my face than behind my back.
But you
'Cause
have
then
to
we
have
can-
discernment.
Yeah.
You got to have discernment. You got to have wisdom. And you have to have people around you that can give you some experience.
Absolutely.
I didn't have that at my age.
No, this is all a learning process.
Yeah.
I think that's what people don't know. This is an evolution of who you were versus who you are now. And it doesn't
100%.
come, like you don't just, this is all through trial and tribulations and from going all, you have to go up in order to come down.
Definitely.
You have to.
Yeah.
It humbles you. So now you go all the way down and now what? You flatline.
Yeah. So I was praying to God because it got to the point where I knew I was transitioning and we weren't really speaking like that, like towards the end. And I know it was transitioning, but we were making good money, in fashion. So I was praying to God, asking him to, like, I want to sustain my lifestyle, show me something that I can do that could allow me to kind of move and shake how I'm currently moving and shaking. And Monopoly was always my favorite game growing up.
That's my favorite game.
Is it?
That's my favorite.
So maybe we should be playing Monopoly on BILF.
I know. I love Monopoly.
Right?
I'm always trying to be on the blue, though, Boardwalk Park.
That makes sense. So I woke up one day and I looked at my phone and I saw this email and it said real estate school. And I was like, and it was like a promo. It was on like Groupon or something. So it was like $99. Right.
Done.
Yeah.
Great.
I looked in my closet. I had like 2 boxes of Kobe 10s and Jordan 9s. So I think total the value is probably like $500 and they weren't unworn. So I just resold them, right? Got the money, paid for the real estate school and then for the license and all of that stuff. And it took me 3 weeks to get my to go through school and then get my license.
Amazing.
And then that same month I did my first real estate deal.
That's real estate's tough.
Yeah.
It's really tough.
Yeah.
That is a tough gig because you're
It's
not
different.
you're not just waiting on yourself. You're waiting for the mortgage company, the bank,
Yeah,
everything.
there's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if the deal goes flat on one end, then it's over. Done.
But there was some similarity. So what for me, what I realized I was parallel between fashion and real estate, at least for me, was the relationships.
Yeah.
And the networking. And okay, cool. We have this shirt or we have this hoodie or something and we need to make some sales. Well, I need to potentially see this product with someone that has an audience.
Yeah.
Right. They probably want the clothes because they like it. We can collab and then we can do something. Like I can get an audience, we can sell this.
And this is
They can get
before
some
social
product.
media is big.
Yeah. This is before it's big.
So this is just your entrepreneurial
This is just my mind
mind
just
going
like click.
So if this one has it and there's like a high need and Wiz Khalifa is wearing it and his audience, then obviously they're gonna wear your stuff. So same thing goes into it applies. It's relationships in real
100%.
estate.
In real estate, it's the same way. You got a buyer, you got a seller. Property needs to be marketed. They got a need for a home. They got a need to sell. Or this person may have a need to rent. This person need, you know what I mean? So to me, it was like, okay, it's the same thing. I've been doing this. It's just a different game, but it's the same concept. So that was very easy for me. So I think I was focusing on rentals like the first year because those were just so easy to just kind of like rentals really hustling though, for real.
Yes, I know. The rental game.
Yeah,
is
rentals
tough.
is hustling. There's some states that are like good for it because they'll give you like full commission of what a rent is, but there's some states where it's like it ain't even worth it. Like California, it ain't worth it to do a rental. So yeah, I started doing that, and then that second year started transitioning into representing representing sellers and was selling homes, and that was cool. I really liked that. Got the license in California, was doing California and Massachusetts, and then I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Done.
Yeah, it was just too much time. So going through personal development, you realize how much more your time is valuable.
So question, you say you do personal development. Is this something you were doing on your own or you hired a coach and somebody was helping you, like coaching you through all this?
So in the beginning, I was just reading a lot of books.
Yeah.
So I was reading a lot of books on personal development.
Like what? Who are your favorite?
At that time, I think my first book was probably like Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yeah.
And then Think and Grow Rich was probably the first two.
Of course, yeah.
So those were like my first two that I can remember. And I know that I started waking up earlier. So I think I started my day at the time of like 5 a.m. So I wake up at 5 a.m., read walk, go to the gym, work out, come home. So I was just doing that in the beginning. Once I knew that you could hire someone or you could buy a program or a course or whatever, this is when I'm in California now, I just started doing that like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, oh, they have this information. I don't know it. I want it. If I buy it, I can get it. So I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what helped me really transition out of real estate, because I'm like, I need to learn something new. I went to this event with Neo, Nehemiah Davis. He's probably one of the first high ticket coaches that I invested in.
Right.
And then two things happened. The first thing was he made me believe that you could think bigger, right? So that was one. The second thing was he had Myron Golden there. This was years ago.
He's a trip. I saw Myron on stage.
This was like 2022.
He is a trip.
Right? So
He is
actually
a
it's three
character.
things. Actually it's three things. One, Nehemiah made me see like you could think bigger. Two, he made over $3 million in like 40 minutes. Right? And then three, Myron showed me that you can make more money in a little bit of time than you can make in a lot of time.
He's all about his time. That's his big thing. Yeah.
So once I realized that, I was like, oh, money and time aren't the same. They're independent of each other. So once that was revealed to me, it was I just started to see life way different.
So now you quit real estate and then you go, then what?
Yeah, after real estate, like I said, I go deep into personal development. I buy Neo's program and I start learning about this thing called like digital products. And essentially,
and what year is this that you're doing?
This is like end of 2021, early 2022.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So I'm learning like the information that you have. So I'm pretty sure like there's things that people probably call you about or text you about that just innately you. Right. Like you just do it well. They're like, oh, it could be listening.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever it is. It could be one of your gifts.
Yeah.
But most people like they just discard it. It's like, I just do this. Yeah, I'll do your hair, whatever I do. Right. I like doing hair. But whatever that thing is that you like to do, you can monetize that.
Yeah.
Like you can make money with that, right? People will pay you for that. But then you can actually go out and get some information that most people are either too lazy to get, they don't know how to get, or they just won't do it. And then you can monetize that by just putting a structure around it. Like for instance, most people don't do their taxes, right? So if you learned about...
or you can do, you can...
Right? So you can either partner with somebody, you can learn how to do it, but then you would have a lot of customers because most people don't do that.
Yes.
Right? Most Americans don't have good credit. So if you learn how to fix credit, you have a lot of customers.
Right.
Right? So there's just certain things that aren't sexy that most people don't want to do, that if you just learned how to do it and you learned the flow, you can capitalize on it. And now you could do that with anything.
You can. You want to hear something? Like it's funny that you keep saying that. I just keep thinking about the scooper poopers. So I don't. Do you know what I'm talking about? For dogs.
Yeah.
But it's genius. If you think about it, they charge. I think it's like $20. $20 two times a week or whatever. Mm-hmm. And if he has at every house in the neighborhood, how long is it taking him to scoop poop? Not that long. Mm-hmm. I mean, there you go. You have a business. And who does not want their poop scooped? I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it at all.
Yep.
So as soon as I heard about it, and then I put my friends on. So then I gave him 3 more customers. So
yeah.
I mean, but I was just laughing because you had said like not so pretty. It's not pretty, but it's a great business.
Yeah, most businesses I'm learning that are not sexy, those typically are the most profitable ones.
Yeah, because no one wants to do it.
No one wants to do it. And it's such a high need for it. And those are businesses that now, like if you follow people like Cody Sanchez or Business Builder Bees, you know, there's a desire for those businesses to be sold.
Right.
Right. So you could acquire some of those businesses. You know what I mean? So I think we're just in an amazing time that you can solve the financial problem way easier than before.
If you have the resources. So no, but hold on real quick.
And the wherewithal, you have to want to do it too.
Yeah, of course. That's the other. You can't just be talking about it. You got to be about it. And
so
many people, I don't know about you, but I meet so many people, they're just talking about it. They don't want to be about it.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot easier to just talk, but you got to put some action. I saw, who was talking? I think Layla Hermosi, I saw her say something like, you know, the first thing you need to do is put it into action.
Yeah.
Like stop talking about it. Get out of your head and just execute. It's not going to be perfect off rip. and it's okay, you know, because like my husband is super analytical and he's always wanting to dot his I's and cross his T's. I'm like, let's just roll with it.
Yeah.
Roll it out. What's the worst that's going to happen? We just, you know,
the worst has already happened, which is nothing.
nothing.
Yeah.
Right. And having done nothing.
That's already the worst.
Yeah. It's horrible. But at least we execute and then we could see how it rides out. I always like to fly by the seat of my pants.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there I can adjust.
100%.
What's
or
the
you
worst?
can see what's needed to adjust. You would never know that if
Sometimes you don't even need to adjust. It works out.
100%.
I like those times. Those are my favorite times. But now you have this media company, right? It's called Imperfect Action Media.
Yeah.
So the whole mission behind it is monetize, right? Is it like taking everyday things and monetizing, or what's the big mission behind it?
So with our media company, what we do is we help business owners and entrepreneurs solve the exposure problem.
Okay.
So specifically, if you're a business owner or entrepreneur that's in the financial space or financial adjacent, so that might be, let's say, credit, funding, investing, real estate, wholesale, hedge fund, crypto, right? Or maybe a high 6-figure or 7-figure earner in whatever your category is. We can help you get in front of more people so you can get more exposure, grow your personal brand, and sell more products or your services. And we do that through podcast guesting.
That's amazing. Yeah. How many clients have you helped?
So right now we have about 30 clients.
30 clients.
Yeah.
And how do they get in touch with you? Well, I'll ask you at the end, but you can say a little bit right now.
Yeah, for sure. So whether it's an ad, it could be ad, organic, outreach. I talk on stages a lot, so sometimes we get clients that way as well. But yeah, it's just thepodagency.co.
Yeah, and that's your specific clientele. So outside of that arena, you don't really.
Yeah. So this is just from me realizing dealing with a lot of customers over time. The customers that do well are customers that, one, are educated, that they know the value of exposure. Right. And then 2, they're already selling a product or service.
Gotcha.
Right. If you're just starting off and your product, doesn't have it's not tested, like you don't have customers, you don't have a proof of concept.
Right.
It's not going to work for you. Or if you're someone that still doesn't understand how valuable personal brand and exposure is, it's not going to work for you.
Yeah.
Right. I created a podcast ROI calculator. So when the sales reps are on a call, they can visually show someone, if you invest, let's say this amount in getting on podcasts and your product is this price, right, the minimum amount of views you need, the minimum closing rate you need, right? The minimum engagement you need for you to ROI.
Perfect.
And generally it might be 20 sales.
Yeah.
30 sales, 40 sales, 15,
so
depending on what it is. I just show them, and then that way they're like, oh, I could get it. Oh, I get it now.
Well, I think a lot of people don't know that too. It all breaks down to dollars and cents. If you don't have some kind of tracker and you're just shooting in the wind, then you have no idea what you're doing and what it costs to get there.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, think about it like this. Most people probably discount this, but when Donald Trump was running for office against Kamala, right? They both was on podcast runs, right? Trump went on 13 different shows. Kamala went on 6. The last time that I was actually doing the numbers, her total views with all 6 of those shows was a little over 6 million, right?
Right.
He had 3 of the 13 that he did that were over 3 million just individually.
Yeah.
So he got way more exposure, right? So if the president is doing a podcast run, if the VP at the time was doing a podcast run to be reelected, why would someone not think that going on a podcast run or going on an exposure tour makes sense for your business?
Oh, say that again. It's so hard because when you work in a company that is, that might not be as tech savvy or as up to date, I don't think people understand the value of exposure and what period of time we're in.
Yeah.
This is a time of social media. I mean, and I'll ask you this, I'm sure I know the question. I mean, I know the answer. Would you say that social media and AI are going to be the wave of the future?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what we're building right now. Literally, we're building a AI model that's a DM setter. So basically, we already demoed it last week. It will. You respond to it.
Yeah.
It's me.
Respond like this.
It's me
in
there, right? It's like talking like me,
Yeah, they
texting
have
like
them
me.
already. Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
like
It's just learning
leaving
your
my
language.
voice memo.
Yeah.
Based on, setting the appointments, doing the follow-ups.
Yeah.
It's doing all of that in a matter of
If you
seconds.
don't know AI,
and it's working
you're
24
done.
hours a day.
I think if you don't know AI, and I'm not tech savvy at all, but the more that I like understand AI and how it's gonna work, AI, this is where it's going. 100%.
All AI is Google now.
Yeah, and
so if you look at it like that, right?
Yeah.
Because everyone understands Google. Everyone understands the internet for the most part.
I think people are just scared of AI.
This is just a new wave. So this is what's relevant now. Technology is always going to move us forward.
Yes.
So you have to understand that it's here. And you maybe don't need to fully understand it or conceptualize it. But if you can learn how to use this tool or resource in your field, you're going to be able to service. Well, first off,
if not, you're going
to close your competitors. And then second off, you're going to be able to service more clients.
Absolutely.
Or actually maybe even open up a new line of, a new revenue stream, because some of your competitors may need this thing that you can set up for them.
I agree. I think
it's the same thing what happened with Blockbuster.
Yeah, well, that's true. It went out because what happened?
Netflix gave them an opportunity to be acquired. They didn't see the vision with streaming, and they dinosaurs.
That's it.
When's the last time you rented a video? I mean, a DVD.
Never.
You got a DVD player?
I don't have one anymore.
That's what I'm saying.
I know. It's probably in my old school room back in South Florida.
Like, you're watching movies on your phone.
Yeah, that's all people are doing.
iPad.
I think if you're not with the times, then you're not going to, then, you're shooting yourself in the foot. And people say, well, I'm older. I'm not with that generation. I mean, I would have to say it's bullshit. You better get with the times because AI is taking over.
You got to roll.
Yeah, and there's enough education going back to like personal development and everything that you're saying. There's enough resources online that are free.
You can use AI to learn AI.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just type it in ChatGPT.
It'll tell you.
Your whole thing is there.
100%.
I love that you said that. I mean, you really hit the nail on the head with that. So what kind of advice would you give to an entrepreneur right now that is stuck? They can't seem to move forward in their business. What would be like the best advice you would give to them?
I think the first thing I would tell the entrepreneur is you have to do an audit of your circle and an audit of your habits.
Yeah.
So like, who are your friends and what type of conversations are you having?
Yes.
Or who's your family? What type of conversation are you having? If you're having the sports game conversations and this happened on XYZ show and what you doing this weekend, you ain't doing, you're gonna stay exactly where you are. You need to have friends that every time you talk, there's people that every time I talk to them, I put money in their pocket.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, Brendan just texted me. I'm about to get some money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, those are the type of friends you want.
Of course.
Where it's like, oh, here's an opportunity. Here's something that we can do. Here's a collaboration that here's an event that we can go to. Like, you need to be around people that's going to feel like that. Oh, here's a book I just read. Oh, this is how you can actually make more money doing your thing. This is how I think we can make some money together, right? You need those type of individuals in your life. So you don't have that, you need to do an audit on that.
Yeah.
Second thing is I would run as fast as possible and get a coach in any area that maybe I'm currently in or I'm thinking about going in. You need to find someone that's already successful doing what you're doing because they already got the blueprint. And I would pay them as much as it costs to get the mentorship. And if you don't have the money, they might have a course, they might have a program, or maybe you could just learn following the breadcrumbs that this person might have left on YouTube because most people have.
They definitely have it on there.
YouTube.
Absolutely.
Those are the first two things I would do. The third thing that I would do is I would get access to capital because that's going to be your extreme leverage. So clean your credit, put yourself in position, start a business, make sure your business structure is set up properly and get access to capital so you can remedy any of the issues that you might have, or you can get some new resources or hire someone, right, that can help you because now you have the ability to do so. And if you have a business, most businesses, especially small businesses, they're not really leveraging credit.
Right.
They're still using their own money. The last thing I would say is you don't even have to start nothing new.
Bingo.
Like you don't have to build a business from scratch.
Don't reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, there's businesses that are already out here that just need you to come in and modernize it, right? And there's people that are wanting to get out of, let's say there's a dry cleaners where you live at or in your neighborhood, and they're still doing the paper,
Right.
They're not doing no text marketing or email marketing. They don't got a website, and maybe the owners are a little older. It's a profitable business, but they can't get out of the business because they don't have no one that wants to take the business.
Yeah.
And you know what? They would be open for you to come in. But that's an opportunity for you. You don't have to work there per se. You can retain that 1 or 2 people that might work there, and you can modernize it. Maybe it needs a sign. Maybe it needs a website. Maybe it needs a text marketing, email marketing. Maybe it doesn't have social media. Maybe you can come up with some cool promo. People still do dry cleaning, but maybe you could put a spin on it and make some dry cleaning content. Show people how cool it is and why they need to come to you. You know what I'm saying? And that could be done in almost every category.
Absolutely.
You know, so those are the things I would do. I wouldn't. Sometimes it's harder for you to start something, but it's easy for you to just buy the cash flow.
Yeah.
And then just modernize it and look at the equation like, well, instead of me getting to my first 10K a month, how can I take this business that might already be doing 10K or 20K a month or 50K a month? How could we get this to 100K a month?
Right.
That's easier because you got cash flow coming in.
Yeah, absolutely. And
you already got customers.
And why reinvent the wheel if it's already working? Just make it better.
100%.
That makes so much sense. So what do you want to be remembered for when you're? This is like a serious question.
Oh yeah, this
when
is
you're
serious.
not. Yeah,
you got to change the tone a little bit.
No,
what do you want to be remembered?
So as we're winding down, so what would you want to be remembered for? As a coach, a mentor? Like,
I just want to be remembered for just being a good person.
Yeah.
You know, like someone that is caring, someone that's thoughtful, someone that's reliable, someone that's a man of their word, someone that loves God, someone that wants to, continue to grow and evolve. And just, like I said, overall, just be a good person, inspiring, and just help as many people as possible. And then just be healthy. Like if you're healthy, you can do anything you want. I think that's so important. And now we're in a time like with the technology, you could be in the best shape of your life as you get older. You know what I mean? So like I'm 44, most people don't know that. And I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life.
Yeah.
Running, jumping, lifting heavy weight, you know what I mean? Mobile. And that's extremely important. I saw this stat. It was like men over like, I think 31, less than 10% can like do a sprint. Yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh. And like most men over 31 can't do 10 push-ups, 10 pull-ups, and 10 dips. That already put you in like the top 5%.
I don't
and this is men over like 30.
Oof.
Yeah.
No, I don't like that at all. I don't
For
like
real.
that. Because I'm a huge proponent of health. I love health. I'm into the gym. I go to the gym every single day. I'm big into like health, fitness, everything.
You're in the bubble. You're the exception.
Oh, it's good. It's a good thing.
But it's true though. Like if you think about in totality, like the population, especially like I live in Miami and I live in a certain neighborhood, where I live at is not indicative of where we live in the country. Everywhere I look is people in shape.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Women, men.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's Miami for you.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But it gives you this false sense of reality that like, oh, this is what everybody does. Like it's not.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is because I'm from South Florida. So
well, that's what I'm saying.
Everybody.
You have like a certain perspective. I have a certain perspective now because I live here. That it's like, oh, this is commonplace, but it's not.
No,
at all.
But it is important. So if people want to find you, you have a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah.
And you are doing things, going big places. Where would people find you?
If people find me right now, so what I want to say is I got a free workshop that they can tap into if they want to learn how to leverage podcasting to get exposure or just get their marketing plan, because less than 50% of businesses don't have a marketing plan. Yeah. They just shooting at the hip. Right. So it's the podcastmasteryworkshop.com. I'm sorry, podcastmasteryworkshop.com. They can go there and register for the workshop. And then we can put, just on Instagram, it's Brendan Boyd on Instagram and YouTube and TikTok. It's all the same.
I love it. Your videos are entertaining. Yeah. So I would tell everybody.
Yeah, a friend of mine said that. I'm about to turn it up too, because I go to this men's group once a month and it's just like men of God getting together and we just be talking, whatever. So we did words of the year at the last session. Like
inappropriate words or any word?
No, I mean, no, appropriate words for real.
Okay. I'm like not inappropriate. No, because you said it was God, really.
Yeah. These words
can't be inappropriate.
So my 3 words were leadership, content, and creativity. Because even though I do make content and I am creative, I feel like I haven't fully went into my creative bag and I haven't fully went into my content bag. So I feel like I have way more to give. So, now that you said that, and I heard that earlier this week that people like my videos, I'm just going to do more, just do more and just show my range of creativity. Because the interesting thing is, though I had a clothing company and I had this basketball league, I did not realize I had creativity until 2018.
I think everybody's creative in their own way, but some people just need to tap into it.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I looked at creativity as like one thing because my business
Like
partner in
drawing,
fashion, he was a drawer, creative director. He made the clothes. He did the sketches.
Yeah.
So to me, that was, okay, this is what creativity is. I don't have that. But 2018, I was like, wait a minute, I'm creative like this.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just do more of that.
I think you're pretty creative. All the ideas. I mean, you spit out a ton. If people did not get a million nuggets today, then they didn't listen carefully. Because just listening to you in your brain and how quickly you're thinking, the chair thing, the dry cleaning thing. I mean, I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, this guy is holy shit. Like you have a million nuggets and a lot to offer. So I just want to thank you for coming out and hanging out.
No,
with
I
me
appreciate you having me. Appreciate you having me. I think what you guys have here is amazing, and I think it's definitely a gem in the city. There's not a lot of things popping in Orlando that I'm familiar with. You know what I mean?
Oh,
so
poor Orlando.
I think more people need to know about the pod. So hopefully we get a lot of clips that we can collaborate on and share. I'm gonna let more people know about it, and I think you're amazing. Keep doing.
I think you're amazing.
Yeah, keep doing what you're doing.
It's
I think
the
this
only child thing.
Yeah, for sure. Right.
That's it. We just got it.
And just keep extending this platform to more amazing people. Sharing their stories and asking fire questions.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, this is good.
That was good.